Give me a good clap over that. Yeah, that's good. Hello, my name is Neutricity. We are live in Georgia at one of Georgia's biggest events, Gwinnett Brawl. Our first one for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I have a special guest with me today, Mr. Reflex Wonder.
Hey everybody.
AKA world's greatest Pokemon trainer in Brawl.
Yeah, we did some stuff. I had a good trainer. I was the only trainer. We did the best we can.
He says he's the only trainer, but okay.
That was the good one, though. That was the good one.
All right. Well, I have a couple questions for you. We'll get them out the way, and then, we'll keep playing Smash.
For sure.
All right, first, what do you think of Smash Ultimate?
I'm really excited about it. I feel like from when we saw the E3 trailer and got all sorts of new info on it, I feel like I had some great hopes, and they lived up to it. I feel like there's a great deal of depth with it. I think that this game's going to have a long, healthy time, and I think that people should be excited about it. I don't know, I'm very pleased at the evolution since Smash 4.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you. My only gripe is that I wish that we'd be more liberal with stage selection.
I feel you.
I feel like boring stages will make the game boring. Eventually.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
Especially since we have so many things that haven't been tried so often.
Yeah.
Everybody's got strong feelings, and it's a new game. I understand that.
Yeah, like for one, I feel like Prism Tower should be tested.
Yeah, it was one of my favorites in the 3DS. Like,
yeah.
I would be fine with that.
Yeah, when I was on Anthem's Ladder, I would go to Prism Tower all the time.
Yeah.
It was a good stage.
My personal, I think I'd like to see Delfino used. I know that obviously people were wary since Smash 4, but I feel like the blast zones have been altered so that you're not dying at 20 anymore off the top for like certain scenarios, and I think it's worth trying. It's got some unique platform movement and everything, like transformations. Wow. I think it's worth giving a shot.
Would you say the same thing for Halberd?
I could see it, but I think that at the very least with hazards on, it's a little screwy. That the claw is scarier than ever. It's fast. It's actually fast. It'd be worth giving a shot, but it depends. If we need more low ceilings, which maybe, I feel like it'd be good to have a set of stages that emphasize, because for better counter picks.
Yeah.
I don't know, if we end up with stages that don't have a lot of potential for vertical kills, maybe that'd be the move.
Well, with ladder kills being, I won't say dead, but less frequent,
sure.
I'm inclined to agree. A counter pick should feel like a counter pick. I really feel like having transformation stages makes the game more interesting to watch. I feel like zoners don't really have a counter pick. You fight a zoner, you're like, dang, what do I take this guy to? But I feel like a transformation stage where their layout is shifted will be really great to see. And it's just good for visual quality to see people make up new combos on the fly based off this wall that's here for 5 seconds or etc.
I can see that, yeah. It'll open up. It would definitely open up certain avenues that wouldn't be available with other platform or certain slants and stuff. And in general, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
It's day 9. The least we could do.
We have so much content. Let us not just say we're going to use this much of the content.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That's how I feel about it.
Sure.
All right. Moving on. How do you feel that Smash Ultimate compares to Smash 4?
Well, my general feel for it is a lot of the new mechanics were used, in my head, are tailor-made to, I guess, fix what I perceived as issues with the game.
Like Cloud?
Well, Cloud is a fun character if you're playing him, but I feel like there were a lot of situations where for the best characters, disadvantage was not that big a deal. Combos, the good combos for the good characters were fairly set in stone, and then they just did their magical down B to teleport to the bottom, back to neutral.
Yeah.
And I feel like the different changes in this game with the movement and the weakened defensive options, the roll decay, things like that, really bring back passive pressure, just being able to chase after the opponent and not worry, oh, he guessed right on his air dodge, now I eat a full combo. So I feel like they really took it in a direction that adds a lot more depth to the offensive game. I think it's a lot more fun to watch in that regard. That there's a lot less set play, I guess.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see what happens with that. I mean, I think it's a marked improvement.
I agree. Going back to Smash 4, seeing 20 air dodges is boring.
Right.
Seeing short hop back air when the opponent is in the corner, it's boring.
But when it's the only option to pressure safely, that'll do it.
Yeah, but I don't like doing it, and I don't like it being done to me. So I'm glad to see new, fresher options. It's really amazing.
For sure.
And I'm also glad that ledge trapping is weakened, since edge guarding is more prevalent.
Yeah. I mean, we've got real edge guarding now. Since you can't just air dodge up B. People are pressured. They have to challenge with aerials and things like that. It's nice to see. It makes the game faster. More stuff happens. There's a lot less empty time, I guess, like where just people are just waiting for them to get back to the level, and that's good. That's good for spectating. It's good for playing. We're finishing up a tournament here. It's a lot more interesting to watch. It's a lot more interesting to play from my perspective.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, moving on. What characters stick out to you? Meeting either some good ones or some bad ones. Some ones need buffs. What's on your mind right now?
One thing that I find really interesting is the way that they approached heavies in this game. Because we got Bowser, we got King K. Rool, we got Ganondorf. Inevitably they're going to have some movement issues. I know some people complain about certain hitboxes. But as somebody who has seen the meta for multiple, not just Smash, but lots of fighting games in general, people are usually of the mind that heavies do well in the beginning because they're simple, they hit hard, people don't know the defensive counterplay yet, and that once people figure out the game, they won't be as powerful. Mm-hmm. But one thing that I find interesting is certain aspects of what has changed, I expect the heavies to still excel with. Like, we don't see a lot of power shielding yet with the parry mechanic, I guess what people refer to as. Mm-hmm. But once people start getting good at that, the big characters will always have very strong, powerful tools. Like you will be able to get killed at 50 as a result of that. And as the game goes on and people figure out better spacing and all that sort of thing, usually it's harder for them to get in. Mm-hmm. But being able to, I guess coming from Smash 4, where there were so many situations where like even if you knew what someone was going to do, you couldn't stop them. Yeah. But I feel like with the new power shield, you don't have to wait your turn anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that along with some of the pretty strong buffs, like I feel like even considering that heavies will probably get worse over time, mm-hmm. I feel like Bowser is an incredibly well-rounded character. I feel like his hitboxes are enormous. Things just string well together. The extra super armor, yes. His variable recovery. I feel like pound for pound, even considering that they'll probably get worse over time, I think he's a more than respectable character. And I think that he will stay that way. I don't think that people will figure him out. But like I said, I think he's a well-rounded character, yeah. And I think that their approach to well-rounded characters is kind of neat. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people are saying Inkling is super good, and I don't necessarily disagree with that. But one thing I find interesting is that they don't excel at a whole lot of things. I feel like they're a very complete character, but they don't like dominate at any one specific thing. Like their dash is very good, but like they've got some edge guarding opportunities, they've got some throw combos, they've got setups and stuff, but it just feels like they're not lacking. And I like the idea that the good characters have not always, but are often about like abusing a really strong aspect of their game. Yeah. And I feel like it excites me to see these characters that are just seem well-rounded rather than abusing things, seem to excel. And again, it's day 9, but I think I want to see how that goes on, how they end up improving, if they can manage to stay, up top, get in rankings and stuff. Yeah. Because that would be different. And we've been doing the same for a good bit now as far as that's concerned.
I think Inklings have a good bit of a potential because I really do feel like they are jack of all trades.
Right.
And that's really important in some matchups. Because some matchups you just want to get your damage and just run away.
Yeah.
Or run in, which they can do very well. I don't think they're absurd. I think they're maybe a little cheeky.
Sure.
I don't think they're absurd because they're killing, they like in that. They probably won't kill you unless you give them an opportunity to do so.
And they've got confirms, but like they're specific and like a lot of it's just like setups that you can try and pressure them into. It doesn't feel
overwhelming.
Absurd. Yeah, that's a good word. It doesn't feel overwhelming. It's not like, what am I supposed to do about that?
Yeah.
It's annoying in certain situations, but like I feel like it's fair. I like that. It's nice to see well-rounded characters excel. So hopefully we see more of that.
I want to see people beat Inklings because I see people complain about them.
That's true.
I want to see what people can do to adapt. I'm fortunate enough to play Pikachu, so I can just T-joke them away. Like that dashing, that means nothing to me.
That's fair. Yeah.
All right, great stuff. Moving on, what advice would you give Smashers that, they're just viewers, spectators, they want to come into the scene and they've never played in a tournament setting before ever? What would you say to those people?
Well, I'll give a good, mechanical answer as, how to improve, and I'll give an answer for how to learn. As far as the learning part, I feel like there are a lot of people who tend to, see the really good players like their word is gospel. Everyone's always talking about, this streamer thinks X is top tier or worse or, bad or whatever. Or, and I feel like sometimes, not just the good players, but most people aren't incredibly good at knowing the best way to give advice, I guess. And so sometimes you'll get players who will just say, oh, you need better movement, but that's not really telling you anything. And a lot of times those players will almost be talking another language to a newer player because they don't understand all the jargon and things like that, and they kind of assume just because they're just used to that. And that's not anybody's fault, but don't be afraid to ask more questions.
All right, we're back. Once again, I'm Neutricity, and I'm here with the Reflex Wonder. We had a bit of technical difficulties, but I really want us to wrap up the last few points of this interview. So just back to the newer players, do not be afraid to ask things. Know that community heads, they don't know everything about everyone at any given time.
Sometimes they're just not very good at explaining the things they mean to either. So don't be afraid. Don't feel like you're pestering them. If they're willing to give you answers, they're willing to elaborate. You don't want to miss something on the equation and mess up somewhere. Just be smart about it. Be thorough.
I'd also like to add, do not be afraid to try. We're having fun. If you're watching this, you like Smash Bros. And we like Smash Bros. So we're already guaranteed we have something in common.
It's true. We're all just trying to enjoy ourselves. Come out here. We're 99% of us are welcome. The other 1% is already not welcome, so don't worry about them. We're glad to have you. We're always glad to have new people.
A lot of good people, a lot of good vibes. Do not convince yourself that you must be this good to come here. There are no requirements. Just, come and have fun.
Everybody starts out low. They come up higher. I mean, that's how you learn. People always think, I often hear people be like, I don't know if I'm good enough to be at a tournament. That's how you get better. 25% of people go 0-2 at every single tournament. And that's part of life. But
I remember when I had my time doing that.
Yeah, it happens. But, people are excited to play. There will be other people that do as well. There are people who do, even more poorly. And you can make friends, you can make rivals. That's how you get better.
Make training partners as well.
It's important. If you, especially with so many characters in this game, you absolutely want to try and find as many people as you can. And they're out here. We got so many people. Just come out here.
Pro tip, pick a top tier.
It's not a bad idea.
All right, well, moving on. What do you think of the new air dodging mechanic?
The old air dodge in Smash 4 was one of my least favorite things about the game. Because there were so many situations that people were afraid to go in because if they got air dodged, they were suddenly the ones getting punished. And that's frustrating. Losing so much momentum off of a coin flip. I feel like this game, or this air dodge, properly rewards even small neutral wins. Like, you get somebody in the air, and that means something. A lot of characters do up throw, not necessarily because they get guaranteed damage, but because they get real pressure. You know, when they lose their jab, their tilt, their smash, because they're all in the air, they can't shield. You can really pile on the pressure, and even if they get that guess and they air dodge through you, you're not getting punished for it. So the idea that small neutral wins, even if they're not big damage, matters a lot. I feel like it changes the game so much for the better. It brings like advantage meaning something, edge guarding meaning something in the same way. You can't just air dodge to come back, and I think that the creative ways that people are handling that, both on offensive and defensive ways, is just really great. One of my favorite things that they added to the game, and it's still reasonably flexible between the neutral air dodge and the directional air dodge. One of the best things they did. Can't wait to see people make the most of it.
For one, I also love it. I also like the idea of throwing someone in the air and just, punishing them. You can condition them to always air dodge or not air dodge and then die. That sounds great. Just great. All right, any last words?
I don't know. I try and I try and get people. I do my best to try and, I guess, find more stuff about the game. So if you ever see me at a tournament or something, don't be afraid to ask me questions. That's what I love to do, is tell people about the stuff that I know. And I don't know everything, especially since this game just came out. But I'm sure other people feel similarly. Come out here, make a new friend, make a new training partner, get a new sensei, I don't know. We're out here. I'm trying to help. We're all trying to help.
Like me, for example, I'm not the best player, obvious, but I'm asking him how to help me mash better. Because I'm tired of K. Rool just throwing me in the ground and then I'm stuck and then I die.
We got ways to get you out of burying.
Make that happen. All right, now where can people find you, Reflex?
I've got decent presence online. I've got a YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/thereflexwonderful, because Wonder got taken, doesn't matter. My Twitter, thereflexwonder. I'll be at tournaments in general, but those are the main places. Send me a DM. I'm on the Discord. The characters I play generally right now, Wario and Pokemon Trainer. So if you happen to be on there, hit me up. I'd be happy to talk to you.
This man is a great resource, chock full of information. Do not be afraid to ask. You will never learn if you're too afraid to ask. All right, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching. Last but not least, I am Neutricity. And that's really loud. I'm Neutricity. You can find me on YouTube, Neutricity, and also twitter.com @Neutricity. All right, we're at Gwinnett Brawl. See you next time. Goodbye.